name is Todd Gates. I'm president of Seneca Nation, and I would like to welcome you here to Ohio. Everyone refers to it as Allegheny. We call it Ohio, our Ohio territory. Ohio means beautiful water, and that's exactly what we're joined here by our guests and our government representatives and the other government agencies that came down to visit us today. And I want to thank our many guests for spending the time and sharing their thoughts with us regarding this critical concern for many people here in the Allegheny territory, throughout New York and Pennsylvania, the need and right to clean water. I thought it was very fitting that we began our meeting this morning, as we always do, with our traditional Thanksgiving address. Each time we recite this prayer, we give thanks to the water. Water is life, and it is all of our responsibilities to protect it. It is not for any individual or group to destroy or contaminate the water, nor deprive future generations of the most vital natural gift, and that is why we are here. Today, to be mindful stewards of Mother Earth for the generations to come is what we're looking for. Unfortunately, Ohio, the beautiful water that runs through our territory, is facing a serious threat. This is the same Allegheny River that serves as a source of drinking water for millions of people between the southern tier of New York and the city of Pittsburgh. At the headwaters of the river, a group known as the Epiphany Allegheny is proposing to build a wastewater treatment plant that will allow for the transport and treatment and release of thousands of gallons of dangerous wastewater from fracking to be released into the river. One of the drivers for this project is certainly economics, but the environmental and health risk cannot be calculated. Consider that the proposed facility will house thousands of gallons of shale gas water, sludge chemically treated, brine and distillate, treatment chemicals, salt cakes potentially containing technologically enhanced natural occurring radioactive materials and other contaminants. The Marcellus Shale region in which we are located has the highest concentrations of radium, and there is no proven technology that allows for the complete treatment of wastewater from fracking. Additionally, the proposed project will be located in a 100-year floodplain. In the event of a high water event, which are common, the untreated hazardous and radioactive materials stored on site will be released directly into the Allegheny River. These are the risks that should not be imposed upon the ecosystem of the Allegheny River, the wildlife, the many people who live along the river and depend on its waters. We are happy to be joined today by Dr. John Stoltz, a professor of biological sciences and the director of the Center for Environmental Research and Education at Duquesne University. Doctor?
I'll keep my comments brief. It was an honor and a privilege to be here today for the Seneca Nation and be able to present some of the research that I've done. But suffices to say that the headwaters of the Allegheny are some of the cleanest waters I've ever studied. And it's absolutely essential, as I live down in Pittsburgh, down near the confluence, and that it is absolutely essential that we do preserve our water and our water resources, because without water, there is not life. So, as I said, it's been a privilege for me to present to the Seneca Nation, and I feel very strongly about their efforts in this particular situation. Thank you.
The contamination that they're proposing does not know geography. Its contaminants will be released from the Epiphany site and will not just stay at the site, they will travel. The sediments that will accumulate upon an already imposition on the Seneca Nation, the Kinzua Dam, is unacceptable. We have a resolution for zero tolerance. Any foreign matter that comes into the territory that contaminates our water is unacceptable. We will not allow this to happen. You know, we've been damaged by a lot of agencies before, and you know, we need to protect our future generations and protect them from the contaminants that this water is being released into the river. There's an ecosystem that depends on us. I stated earlier in the meeting that in New Zealand, some of the agencies over there passed a resolution declaring the rivers out there as a living body of water. And I think we need to do the same here and protect our river as a life-giving force. And that provides for all of us and for our future generations. Gentlemen, for coming.
You want to ask questions from the podium, or we could do one-on-ones? First, from the podium.
Sir, what can be done if they try to push this through?
We're putting forth our best efforts to get the science out there so that our recommendations are heard. It's up to really the CAMA, the Coudersport Area Municipal Agency, to pass some of the permits that need to be done, but also federal agencies, the EPA. And we had them here today. They were listening. So I think hopefully some of the comments and questions and concerns, they'll take those back and render their decision based on those.
What has Advocacy said to any of the rebuttals that you guys have had, or have you guys contacted them about trying to...
We've had some outreach from them. We're still putting our minds around this whole thing. I mean, they have their side and we have ours, and we need to look at this closely and contact, like I said, the CAMA authority and see if we can influence their decision making, because we've had support from Senator Young's office, a letter opposing the facility. Kent County Legislature, I think one of their things is the beauty of Cattaraugus, and it's this river flows right through Cattaraugus. It's a generator for the state park here. We need to protect it and leave it the way it is.
That's one of the reasons why fracking is illegal in New York State, because of the water contamination, and now they want to bring their water here.
That's a good comment.
What are some of the health effects? What are some of these things that you guys are aware of that could be caused from all this?
Well, the radiation concern is one. I'm on the. We're having scoping meetings in Cattaraugus tonight on the West Valley project, and we can. A lot of people don't want to tie it together, but the radiation and the effect on humans, are autoimmune diseases. And it's not just cancer. Everyone kind of tries to connect cancer and radiation, but it's more than that. Our autoimmune systems, our thyroid, arthritis, diabetes, all these things, are related to long-term exposure to low-level radiation. And I don't think they have that question answered too. What are they going to do with that radiation? We know it's going to build up, maybe in low levels, acceptable levels, but after a while, you're going to have to contain it, store it, dispose of it. And there is no safe, clean, disposable way to get rid of radiation. We found that out through the West Valley project.
Can you talk about where this project stands right now, from your understanding, where it all currently sits?
We're going through the permitting process, and there was a letter issued by CAMA to allow, I guess, really a loophole to get through the permitting process. I wouldn't really want to say that either, but we have to be concerned about it. They're looking at more from an economic standpoint originally. We're facing a battle here against some big money, and we're going to have to look at it carefully and give them all the information that we gather, and so they can come up with the best decision.
So one of the things that I talked about today was the fact that, shale gas drilling has been going on in Pennsylvania in earnest since about 2004, really kicking off in 2010 to 2012. And we allowed initially the industry to bring their wastewater to our municipal wastewater treatment plants. And soon after, we discovered we had an issue with high levels of bromide and other contaminants in the Three Rivers, and it was affecting our drinking water facilities. And so since then, it has been illegal in the state of Pennsylvania to bring this wastewater to a municipal wastewater treatment plant. But in this particular situation, it's being permitted because of the new process that they believe is going to remove a lot of the impurities. Nevertheless, where the site of the plant is, it's adjacent to the wastewater treatment plant, but it's also, has been mentioned before, in a 100-year floodplain. The fact that certain things that perhaps certain trucks will be prevented from dropping off their load, but the fact is on site they're going to be storing large quantities of the raw produced water. So these things are all a concern because once again, it's all about the location. It's the headwaters of the Allegheny. So it is a concern, and that, we hope they won't be, if it's permitted and built, there won't be any disasters or discharges. But there's certain things about the design and whatnot that, are of a concern, and especially with the ability of radiation to build up over time as more and more water is processed. So.
What have been some of the concerns, obviously health concerns with the community specifically? What have been some of the things you've been hearing or, from people that are around?
We just heard from one of the farmers in Salamanca, Mr. James Valent, and he's very concerned. He's the largest farmer in the city of Salamanca, on the outskirts, and his concern is about the water, how it's going to affect the farmland.
So there can be concerns for more than just people. It's going to be more far-reaching than that.
And that concern was taken to the Cattaraugus County Planning Board, which in turn gained support from the Cattaraugus County Legislature. So slowly we're gaining momentum, and education is important, and letting the community know that this whole process is untested. It's never been done before, and there's no test to prove that it is safe. So we have to stop this process immediately.